Hello everyone, my name is Andrew. Today we continue learning Python, and today we'll talk about what you should learn or what you should not learn as a programmer. So let's start. A lot of people wrote comments such as you don't need to learn algorithms, you don't need to learn databases, you don't need to learn that, you don't need to learn this. And I would like to address those points and give you my own opinion. So as a programmer, you should learn everything. Of course, which is related to IT. You may go into different fields like economics, finance, like physics, like math, but I'm only going to talk about IT itself. So as a programmer, you should learn everything about IT, and here's why. A lot of people are saying that you should only focus on your own field. For example, if you're talking about web developers, you have backend and front-end web developers. If you work in backend, you should only know everything about backend. If you work in frontend, you should only know about frontend. And you should not, as a backender, you should not go into frontend at all, because you will not understand everything, you will not be a professional, and there are some people who can do it better than you. So let's imagine something like that. You have a bug in frontend, so you know that you have a bug in frontend. Your backend is fully functional. And you, as a person who wrote that backend, go to that frontend and change something. Of course, in big companies, you're going to have someone who's going to change it for you. So you're going to have to open up a ticket, you're going to have to send a bag, I don't know, maybe a message, depends on how you manage everything, but there will be someone who is going to fix frontend for you. However, if you know how to fix it as a backender, it's going to be better. Why is that? Because you're going to know how to do it yourself. And if you know how to fix or make anything yourself without the help of other people, it's going to be better, trust me, because you're going to be more versatile as an IT person, kind of like that. And a lot of people were saying that you only need to concentrate on your own field because you can't spread your knowledge between different fields. So for example, if you're working in database administration, you should not go into backend or frontend. And that is kind of true, because if you split your learning into different parts, and those parts are enormous, like game dev, database administration, backend, frontend, software design, or something like that, it's going to be really hard for you to become professional in one of those fields. However, I think that if we're talking about just a little bit of understanding, it's going to be all right. So as an IT person, you may understand what's going on in other fields, and it's just going to be better for you. Because if you don't know anything about other fields, then if you go somewhere else, so if you don't need to write just a backend, but what if you need to write some backend and some frontend, and there is now nobody who can write that frontend for you? So imagine that you open up a startup. Who is going to bring a database administrator to your startup? That's the first point. The second point is that each person costs money. And why do you need to spend money if you can learn it yourself, do it yourself, and then earn more money in the future? If you know how to do something, you can earn money on that. Of course, if you can apply that knowledge. And that's the most important thing from my point of view. So you should learn everything. However, I would like to advise you to make like a learning plan, something like that. I don't know, I don't have a learning plan myself. I just learn everything that I don't know, but you should have a learning plan on what you should learn, because if you have millions of topics and you want to cover all of them in one day, of course it's going to be a problem and you're not going to remember any of it. But it's different for each person, and I don't have a learning plan myself, so yeah, just learn what I like and what I need, kind of like that. So once again, you should learn everything. Algorithms are going to be beneficial for you. Database administration is going to be beneficial for you. DevOps is going to be beneficial for you. Backend, frontend, software design, everything is going to be beneficial for you. And even if you work as a data scientist, but you have your own website, you wrote your own frontend, you wrote your own backend, maybe it's going to be beneficial for you, because people will know that you are capable of writing your own website. And even if you're not directly related to frontend, to backend, to HTML, JS, CSS, so you work as a data scientist, those are completely different topics. Like frontend and backend, we can relate them because yeah, they are related, but frontend and data science are completely different. So if you want, you may create your own website. It's going to be just beneficial for you. There is no harm in doing something that you couldn't do before. Kind of like that. So that's my opinion. And also, a lot of people wrote that you should not go into frameworks, you should just use them. So if there is a framework, you should just use them and don't worry about any underlying details. I think that is kind of true, because you don't need to go into every framework that you see on the internet. So it's going to be a mess, because you use millions of frameworks daily. However, well, not millions, but thousands of frameworks daily. And you can just go your whole life without knowing how those frameworks work, but of course it's going to be beneficial for you if you go and see how the code in those frameworks is written. Because there is one big idea, is that your framework is open source. Well, typically your framework is open source, and a lot of people contribute a very good code in that open source framework. And if you understand how your framework works internally, then you may use it better externally. So you may use it better as a developer for that who uses that framework. Once again, you don't need to go into each framework and look into their code, but of course it's going to be beneficial for you. There is no doubt in that. And the last point is about algorithms. So a lot of people wrote that algorithms are useless. So why do I need to use or to know how sort works? So for example, how bubble sort works, how quick sort works, how team sort works, if I know that I have dot sort or sorted functions in Python. Well, that's pretty simple, because if you don't know how algorithms work, you can't really use them. So of course you can use sorted without knowing the underlying mechanism. However, algorithms allow you to expand your knowledge, drastically, because if you know how algorithm works, you may apply the same techniques in some different tasks, into some different problems. And it's once again only going to be beneficial for you. Kind of like that. I really don't understand why a lot of people are saying that you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. Of course, you should not focus all of your time on algorithms if you want to become a backend developer, because if you focus everything on one specific field, like algorithms, you're going to be far behind, because if you don't know anything about backend, but you know everything about algorithms, you may be a good professional in algorithms, but we need something like, we need people that can do both things. So for example, backend and algorithms, frontend and backend. Backend, data structures, algorithms, I don't know, DevOps and something like that. So the more you know, the better it is for you. And kind of like that. So that's the whole idea. Algorithms, databases, cache systems, backend, frontend, all of those are really, really important. And if you have time, you should just learn. And that's basically the only thing that you should know. You should just continue learning, never stop. Because if you stop, you lose. Kind of like that. So thank you for watching. My name is Andrew. Subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment, and bye bye.